Sometimes it's nice to think outside of the box. Usually audiophiles tend to follow rigid principles. But today we explore something unusual, a mixer, the Technics SH-MZ1200. Welcome to the Bast Audiophile with your host, the Bast, an audiophile. And today we celebrate our benchmark of 1,000 subscribers. Woohoo! As of this morning, we have 1,280 subscribers, where 98% of them are males and 90% of them are over 45 years old. I don't know if it speaks about me or the hi-fi hobby in general. But from attending myself audiophile events, I can confidently say that we, as audiophiles, need to do something to interest women into hi-fi. They love music as much as men, if not more, so where's the disconnect? Maybe today's product is a key to the answer. Today we talk about mixers. Mixers are usually associated to social music listening. It doesn't have to be that case though. I'm not a DJ, you might not be either. So why get a DJ mixer for our sound systems? To attract women and young people? Maybe, maybe not. Today we review the Technics SH-MZ1200, the big brother of the legendary Technics SH-EZ1200, the official mixer used in international DJ competitions.
I'm so cool!
Mixers are cool. You can align multiple songs together when you listen to music in a group. There's no silence between songs. You can play tracks from your tape deck, to your turntable, to your streamer, to even from a tuner. Everything is possible and there's no silence. So when you have guests at home, it's good for the ambience. There's no interruption into the music. As a reviewer, here with that mixer, I can A/B test up to 4 machines at once, making my reviews more accurate. Since I gain time between tests, I don't have to stop, set up a new machine, and forget how the previous one sounded. It's a huge advantage for reviewers. The downside, though, is that you add a new machine in the sound chain, which can taint and affect negatively the sound. For that reason, I've tried unsuccessfully to find a hi-fi mixer in the market for myself. Finding a mixer for audiophiles is not easy. I've tried to find that machine with all the crazy fanatic details that we are looking for normally. I couldn't find such a machine yet. Maybe with this video, someone will be able to point out in the comments the ideal machine for me. But the real reason why I need a mixer is that my integrated amplifier, the Billy Amp Mark II by Evan11, has only 2 analog RCA inputs. And since I have more than 2 peripherals, I want to be able to connect my CD player, my radio tuner, my cassette deck, my reel-to-reel, my DAC, and finally my turntable. That makes a total of 6 connections. Impossible without a mixer. So that's the reason why I need a mixer. Fortunately, Evan11 has heard my request, and the new Billy Amp Mark III offers up to 8 RCA inputs in option. But they don't offer faders though, like you have in a mixer, meaning that you cannot cross-fade songs when you have guests at home. There will be interruption between songs and albums, but I guess it's cool for the vast majority of audiophiles. In the process of finding a solution for my need, I researched the market, and I couldn't find a real mixer that satisfied my audiophile expectations. I couldn't find a hi-fi mixer. You know, a mixer with ion connectors, silver or copper circuits, with an external power supply, vibration control, and so on. All the fancy fanatic details that audiophiles crave. If you know about such a mixer for hi-fi, please leave a comment down below. I'm really interested. I found some mixers with rotary buttons that seem to use better parts, but nothing that could satisfy my quest for perfection, neither fulfill my hi-fi requirements. After all, we're talking about adding an additional machine to the sound chain. It better sound transparent and not degrade the signal. Overall, at the end of my research on mixers, my trust started to build around the brand Technics. That brand is famous for its turntables. I have one of these right here. But also, Technics makes the official mixer for international DJ competitions. So eventually I found the Technics SH-MZ1200 with 4 channels. I feared that it would affect the sound, but it doesn't seem to be the case. In my dreams, I hope that the faders of that mixer bypass capacitors when fully engaged, meaning that when you slide them all the way up, no electronics affects the sound of my delicate chains of Hi-Fi components. Having that said, I don't know if it's the case in reality. I simply hope. And when I listen to the sound, it's clear enough. The Technics SH-MZ1200 doesn't seem to affect the bass, the mids, the highs, neither the soundstage. This mixer is pretty much transparent. It's the closest thing that I could find that looks like an audiophile mixer. The Technics SH-MZ1200 is solid as a rock. It feels like a tank, just like the old Technics turntables. The machine weighs 5.3 kilograms, which means 11.7 pounds. It's a substantial weight. We cannot say that this machine is light, it's fully packed for the size. On the top side, you can see a bunch of RCA connectors, some digital, some RCA or XLR outputs, which are balanced. Overall, there's a total of 12 input terminals available, 2 for CD line input, 3 for line input, 3 for phono input, 2 for microphone input, and 2 for digital input. There are plenty of options to suit your needs. Now when you look at the panel, the audiophile in us has an overload of information. Let's try to simplify. First, this section presents the microphone options. Here you have the effects, then the assignation of the faders, the crossfader, and the faders themselves. The Q buttons are simply for using headphones while mixing. Above you can see the selection of each input, the equalizer for each channel. 3 equalizers for high, mid, and low frequencies are provided for each channel. A wide variety of possibilities are provided to us. The attenuation range of these EQs is set to a high -24 dB up to 12 dB. So who needs an extra equalizer after that? On the right hand side you have the output level meter. It's not a VU meter though. That would be too perfect. It's the dream to have VU meters on a hi-fi mixer for audiophiles. Then we see the master level and the master balance. Finally, you have the monitor control knobs. Basically, it's to control your headphones while you're mixing. You may look at the tech specs here. You'll notice that the phono stage is for MM cartridges only, and it's set at 47 kilo ohms. The outputs RCA and XLR are set to 1 volt and 600 ohms. The frequency response goes from 20 Hz up to 20,000 Hz, which is fantastic. It's the full spectrum. It's also rack mountable if you care about space management. I've been using this mixer for more than 3 years now, and I can confirm that the Technics SH-MZ1200 is a solid 4-channel mixer. It's fully packed with features and it's very reliable. I find that the sound quality is acceptable for audiophiles, although I'm still looking for something more high-end right now. The only critiques that I found online were about the faders. For a heavy use, they may break. Also, the crossfader has a sharp cut, meaning it's good for scratching and hip-hop, but it's more of a problem for dance halls and regular playback. Basically, the faders have a learning curve, that's it. In conclusion, the Technics SH-MZ1200 has much more features than necessary for an audiophile. The sound is acceptable and rather transparent. It happens to be very useful when friends comes over and you want to listen to music together. A mixer makes the music listening much more pleasant and fun. You simply surf from a source to the next and there's no interruptions. But the Technics SH-MZ1200 doesn't fulfill much our hi-fi requirements. Audiophiles don't see their natural features. I'm kinda surprised we don't see on the market an audiophile grade mixer. Does that mean that audiophiles are solitaires? Music isn't meant to be listened alone only. Social listening does exist even for audiophiles. I firmly believe that there's a room for a hi-fi mixer in the market, an audiophile mixer. I found 2 interesting ones in my research, although I didn't have the chance to hear them. The first one is the Euphoria by Alpha Theta. It's about $5,000 US. The second option is all the mixers from the company called Razer. They go from $2,000 to $3,000 US. Please let me know in the comment if you heard them. Also, if you know other models and companies, I'm interested. That concludes our review. If you like this episode, feel free to subscribe. It helps us to having new products for review. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please leave us a comment on what to improve for the next episodes. You may as well want to participate in the making of these videos by becoming one of our Patreon. The link is down below in the description. We're looking forward to seeing you again. See you soon in our next videos. Goodbye.